Hey guys, welcome back to yet another tutorial from Bali Piano. Okay, in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at the first instrumental of sun-saathiya. Just a reminder, we are in the key of A minor and we're playing at 145 beats per minute. All right, 5, 6, 7, and... At the very start, we have a dotted quaver. So the duration of a dotted quaver would be 1 plus half. So that would be 1.5 in our 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and count. So in order to make it easier for you guys to understand when to play that half, I'm actually going to take our count a step further by saying 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. So if I were to demonstrate just the very first two notes, then it would be played like this. 5, 6, 7, and 1E and a. To simplify things, if we forget about the dotted quaver, and suppose we just had 2 quavers instead, that would just be 1E and a. But because the first note is dotted, and it's a dotted quaver, followed by a semiquaver, it would be played like this. 1E and a. Let's try and put this with the rest of the notes in the bar. So, placing your index finger on D, 5, 6, 7, and 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and... I went back to the normal count because right after we're done playing the semiquaver, in the very first part of the bar, it doesn't continue on anymore. So, just to keep things a little simpler. Again, let's try that one more time. 5, 6, 7, and 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, now we can apply the same count to the rest of the bars. Bar number 54 is exactly the same. Continuing on to bar number 55. 5, 6, 7, and 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and in bar number 56, we have 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So, as you can see, bar number 56 was slightly different from the rest of the bars leading up to it because of that minim at the very end, which we know in the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and count, it lasts 4 beats. Okay, let's just try this again from the beginning of the 53rd bar. 5, 6, 7, and 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1E and a, 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, so the good thing about it is initially it may look hard, but once you get the gist of how it works, then you don't really have to keep counting in your head. And in fact, when you put your left hand together with the right hand, then things actually become easier when it comes to getting the timing of the right hand correct. Okay, so let's look at the remaining bars. Bar number 57, 58 are exactly the same as what we've already seen. So 5, 6, 7, and continuing on to bar number 59 and 60, we have so a slight change in timing over there. As you can see, the crotchet in bar number 59 is not dotted. It's just a crotchet. So we have 1E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and our last bar we have, again using our count, we have 1E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so playing this from bar number 57, we have okay, moving on with a very similar pattern, beginning with bar number 61, we have 5, 6, 7, and. So as you can see, bar number 61, 62, and 63 are very similar. The only difference is in the last note, which just increases in pitch from A to B to C, and everything else remains constant. So this pattern. Then bar number 64 goes like this. Luckily, bars number 65, 66, and 67 are exact repeats of bar number 61, 62, and 63. So let's just play that again. 5, 6, 7, and. Okay, now comes probably the hardest one of all. 5, 6, 7, and. So nothing new in terms of timing. We have 1E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so let's just try these 16 bars from the top again. 5, 6, 7, and. Okay, now let's look at our left hand. The timing for the left hand is actually very straightforward. As you can see, there are no dotted notes, there's no semiquavers. It's just a whole note at the very start, followed by 3 crotchets. So, as we know, a whole note lasts the entire bar. So you want to make sure that when you're playing the first note, it's actually held throughout the entire bar. So you're going to be playing it like this. This particular pattern is consistent throughout the 16 bars of the instrumental. Okay, starting with bar number 53. So we're placing our pinky finger at A, and we're playing E and A with our index and thumb. Now, for bar number 54, it's a bit of a stretch, but our pinky finger is playing F, and again we're playing A and E with our index finger and thumb. And following on bar number 55, we have pinky finger playing C, and our thumb and middle finger playing E and G. And we have, in bar number 56, our pinky finger playing B, and our thumb and middle finger playing D and G. Okay, let's try that from the top. 5, 6, 7, and. Okay, now looking at bar number 57 till 60. Bar number 57 till 59 are exactly the same as bar number 53 to 55. In bar number 60, we start off with a very low note, which is E, being played by a pinky finger, and there's probably no chance of actually maintaining that E, so just play the rest of the notes in the bar, which is D and G sharp. So, okay, moving on. Again, bars number 61 till 64 are exactly the same as 53 to 56. And the last 4 bars in our 16-bar instrumental. Now, this is where things get a little harder in our left hand, but again, following the same principle. The whole note in each of these bars is E. So this is basically held for a full 16 bars, and we're playing the crotchets, which are underneath this whole note. So demonstrating bar number 65, we have. Then in bar number 66, we have. And in bar number 67, we have. Then we have a sharp in bar number 68, which goes like this. And we end with our whole note again in bar number 69. The good thing about bar number 65 throughout bar number 68 is the fact that your thumb doesn't really move anywhere because the E is held down throughout the time. So it just goes. Okay, now let's try and put both the hands together very slowly from bar number 53. 5, 6, 7, and. Okay, this was a full demonstration of the first interlude of Sun-saathiya. It is long, but it's quite repetitive, so once you get the gist of the first 4 bars, I guess, then the rest of the bars will be pretty easy to cover. Alright, in our next lesson, we're going to be covering the riff that covers verse 2 of Sun-saathiya, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.